because your defenses have already been demolished. So I want you to start paying attention to the way you abuse yourself, how you talk to yourself, your self-language, how you express yourself to yourself when you're alone. I don't like this about me. That's ugly. I hate this. Why is my hair like this? Why can't I look like that? Because you are abusing yourself before somebody even gets to you. So by the time they get to you, you're prime. Cool. She hates herself. This is great. I'm going to break her all the way down. What's up? Look fat. Do what I say. Okay. And that's how it happens. And so that by the time someone comes around and slaps you, chokes you, pulls your hair, pushes you, whatever that physical thing might be, because abuse is so much more than physical, but when you get to the physical, your defenses are already down because you're fat, because you're ugly, because your hair is not right. It's not long enough. It's too curly, it's too straight, it's too kinky, I'm too skinny. My ass ain't as big as Beyonce's. I can't dance. I don't have the right clothes. I'm poor. My family's poor. We don't live in the right neighborhood. People start, and you start, to do this to other people as well as yourself. So when someone comes in, it's easier to break you down because of those little tiny things people have been saying to you all your life. You're not smart enough. You're not cute enough. You're not this. You're not that. You're not this. You're not that. You're too ethnic. You're too busy. You're stupid. You're so stupid. So when someone comes in and slaps a stupid person, it's like, well, I'm stupid anyway, so what the fuck is the difference? Start paying attention to how you speak about yourself, to yourself, and how you speak to other people, and don't be abusive to other people because you are, whether you realize it or not. Because people are abusing you, whether you realize it or not. Because it is those simple things. It's those little tiny, tiny little things. And then when you go into your professional lives, it's important to be able to empathize with women and men who are in situations who are being victimized. This is going to be hard. Empathizing with the people who are causing the pain. And that is difficult. Because that person is also drawn into a cycle. And it's not their fault. It is their responsibility. Just like being a victim is not my fault. But my personal safety is my responsibility. I'm still responsible for myself. It's not my fault, but it is my responsibility. It's not my fault I'm being beaten, but it is my responsibility to save my life. This is my responsibility. Same thing with the aggressors. And this is hard because they are inflicting physical, emotional, financial pain. And it's so hard to step away from that and humanize monsters. But some part of you has to, because that person needs help. And you have to be able to direct that person to their proper help also, not just the victim. Because unless, God forbid, somebody kills that person, they're going to victimize somebody else. So you have to see them as human. And you have to realize they need help. You have to also ask aggressors what has happened. Tell me about you. Give them a different kind of language because they only speak one kind. And show them that there is another way to express. It's difficult. It takes years of practice, and practice also takes practice. Practice is an art. And I teach that a lot. Practice practicing. And teach that to people as well because, and I use this, and it's great to use it in colleges because you have a big exam, you have to study. You got to study. You got to practice. You know that. But what if you don't know how to study? Studying in itself is an art. If you're not studying correctly, you won't remember any of that shit. You're going to fail. So even in the study, you have to study the study. You have to know how to study. Someone has to sometimes teach you how to study. There are people who teach you how to study so you can pass that test. That's why we have, tutors and things to teach us how to study. Even the study has to be studied. Even the practice has to be practiced. So I want you to practice empathy practicing empathy for people who are aggressors, who are aggressive, people who are not kind, people who are not victims at all, people who are perpetrating pain. To empathize, and this is something, if you're religious or believe in God at all, this is something so close to God, to be able to bring in their pain too, and to realize that they are people acting as monsters, and they too need help, and you can save a life by saving theirs. By saving the aggressor's life, you may save 10, 20 lives. So, in conclusion, know that it is not an incident. Know that it is a history. Know that you have to put yourself in that space and think, this person probably learned this when they were 5. Let me not judge this person based on how they're acting today, knowing that you didn't decide to accept aggression. You didn't decide this morning, I can't wait to be abused today. This is going to be great. There is a history and there's a story, and that person could be me. And they probably are me. And they've been through what I told you today I've been through. Just imagine that for them, because it's probably that and worse. And then everything that they're doing, every abuse that they're taking, every abuse that they're giving will begin to make sense. And then you can start placing them in the right hands. It can be done and people can change. Victims, survivors can change. They can stop abuses and abusers can stop abusing. It takes years. It takes practice, and it takes practicing the practice, and you can be the catalyst for all of that. If you stop treating it as an incident and start treating it as a culture, as a lifestyle, and as a language, and know that it's as deeply embedded as each and every one of those things. I hope I made my point today. Thank you guys for listening so intently. I appreciate all of you.